Okay, welcome back. This segment I want to talk about how a remediation is done. And there's a lot of information here to go over, so I'm going to try and fit it all in. Now, what you're going to expect from a remediator, they are going to go in, they should be going in protecting themselves, because you're going to want to see a guy that has a full face mask. His whole body is going to be covered. Full face mask, chemical resistant suit that covers the entire rest of his body. He's going to have gloves on that are chemical resistant, and he's going to have boots on that also are chemical resistant. So there is no part of the chemical that is going to be in contact with his skin. And the face mask with cartridges, we're not talking about Home Depot type personal protection. These are going to have cartridges that are specifically meant for whatever chemicals are being used in the house. That is what the remediation process is going to look like, which you may or may not ever see, but that's what the remediator is going to be doing. Now, how the remediation is done, I'm sure it's important for you to know what stays and what goes, and that sort of thing. We're going to cover that in this segment. So, the bottom line, according to state law, is that if a material is what's called smooth and easily cleanable, those are legal words, smooth and easily cleanable, then it can remain. So, for example, the way that's been interpreted is smooth and easily cleanable would be maybe a desk, a refrigerator, a stove. Subfloor is considered to be smooth and easily cleanable, even though it's neither. Sheetrock is considered to be smooth and easily cleanable. If you've got fans on the ceiling, those are considered, even though you've got, the blades are considered to be smooth and easily cleanable. You want to make sure that your remediator actually gets the dust off the top side of the blade, or that's going to cause drama down the road. Been there, done that. So stuff that is not smooth and easily cleanable, that would be carpet and pad. That just needs to go. Again, Utah County will allow the remediator to actually test the carpet, and if it doesn't come up high or beyond the threshold, they will allow it to stay. Pretty much every other county, especially to the north end of the state, they don't care. They want it gone. If there is a number that was found to be beyond state limits, even if that carpet was installed 15 minutes ago, if it was in the house, it needs to be remediated. Those health departments do not negotiate. They have their rules. They are the government, and they tell you how it is. You can argue with them. It doesn't matter. They tell you how it is going to happen. So just be aware of that. The carpet and pad, if it's there, it's gone, especially if you're in Salt Lake or the Ogden area, or perhaps even Logan. All right, so the carpet and pad are going. Other stuff, for example, that would go, if you've got an acoustic ceiling tile, that is not smooth and easily cleanable, it will go. Windows can stay. I mentioned cabinets and countertops, and in many cases, if you got basements, you'll have insulation maybe against the walls. That is, of course, not smooth and easily cleanable, and that would be removed. Mattresses, not smooth and easily cleanable. Now, in many cases, you have books, also not cleanable and probably not worth cleaning. That being said, most of the local health departments will allow a certain number of personal belongings to remain with the homeowner. I mean, obviously, a homeowner is going to perhaps want to keep his scrapbooks, or maybe his medical books, or his law books, or whatever business he's in. He's going to want to keep those rather than just throw those away just because somebody says so. And recognizing that reality, many of the health departments, depending on what mood they're in that day, will allow that, but they will usually require that the occupant, the owner of the books or the materials, sign a document that says, I recognize that this paperwork may be meth contaminated, and I'm holding nobody liable for the after effects of me keeping my meth contaminated stuff. So that again becomes part of it. In many cases, the CDS, the remediator, will end up playing games with usually the culprit, who wants to keep all their stuff, and they want to pick this. Oh, I want that picture, I want that painting, I want, this book. And it becomes a huge pain for the remediator, and in many cases the remediator just doesn't want to deal with that stuff. So they're going to want to just throw it all away. Especially when if the culprit is the one that wants to keep his stuff, many experienced remediators don't become easy to deal with. Now, in many cases, it is the innocent party who, maybe it's their wedding photos. And, it's hard to be that brutal that you're not going to allow, as the county or as the CDS, you're not going to allow a person to keep their wedding photos. So that's kind of what the decontamination process looks like. The next segment, we're going to go on about this, and we're going to talk about what to expect after the decontamination process is complete. We'll be right back.